JJ Solomon.
This is Ray Bradshaw, Mr. RTBA. Mr. These boys can't touch me on my worst day. This is the Spit Bucket Podcast. It's your boy, Mr. RTBA, Mr. 214, Senor Dos Uno Cuarto, with my guy, JJ Solomon. This is TSB Unscripted. JJ Solomon. What's popping, my guy?
What up, bro? How you doing today? I just finished dinner, full belly, ready to talk some shit.
Hey, I just thank the Lord for another day. I'm able to wake up and breathe. Kiss my wife, kiss my kids, just thank the Lord for each day, every breath I can
No
take.
doubt. Every sunrise and every sunset, bro.
Man, look, people don't understand how life is so precious and how it's so important, JJ Solomon. And we want to preach this to everybody. Make sure you love your family. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, make sure you love your family. Make sure you thank God or whoever you believe in every day you wake up to be able to take another breath.
And don't just love them. Pick up the phone, call them. Let them know, you know what I mean? Because we've seen too many times here recently, especially, that you never know when that last day is coming. So you spot on, bro. You hit the nail on the head. Love your family.
When I was coming up, we used to always do family reunions.
Yeah.
I don't know what family reunions is no more. Only time the family meet up now is when, rest in peace to anybody who go touch the greater land. But when somebody have a casualty,
Yep.
and I think just people need to understand how they need to respect every breath we take, every morning we wake up and we able to walk, live and breathe and do what we do.
That's exactly right, brother. Don't take it for granted. Don't hold on to silly grudges. I don't know how we got into this, but it's a very important message. So I appreciate you bringing that up. Love your loved ones. Forgive quickly. So anyway, man, TSB Unscripted. Had a cool weekend of fights. We saw Shakur Stevenson. We saw Joyce. But let's kick it off talking a little bit about Shakur Stevenson. And not just the fight. We hadn't had an opportunity to talk about Thursday. What occurred on the scales on Thursday, where Mr. Shakur Stevenson, according to me, the future of the sport, the biggest, baddest that's coming through, the future pay-per-view star, the future ladies, man. Dude missed weight. I was shocked. I mean, man, I wasn't shocked, but I was shocked he let it happen.
I was shocked.
When I say I wasn't shocked, it's based on what I saw. Like, in the wrong. I love that he came out of pocket just to make sure the fight kept going. I think he paid $150,000 to Robson Conceição. But bro, you're a champion, and the world is watching now. And you got fans, and you got sponsors, and you got all sorts of things. You got people like us who are putting our reputations on the line, saying, "Hey, you're the future." So for me, say what you want. Yeah, you got 135 waiting on him. I'm not giving him a free pass. You don't get a free pass for signing a contract, knowing you can't make it, because he's expressed a whole lot that he can't make that weight. Show up fight week, pound and a half overweight. For me, that's unacceptable. It sets a bad precedence for up-and-coming fighters. He got the job done, but I can't wait to see him at 135. But for that one night, he get 2 thumbs down for me because I'm not cool with it. I think it's one of the most disrespectful things you can do in boxing. TBA, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree with you to a certain degree. I agree with you when you say it was totally unprofessional. Absolutely unprofessional. You sign the contract, you need to make that weight. But the thing like I liked about Shakur, unlike other fighters who miss weight and do the most, Shakur
Yes.
out there and gave a sincere apology. And one thing also about the situation, Shakur Stevenson is 23, 24 years old. He a young man in boxing, right? Was it unprofessional? Absolutely. Did he have to pay the price? Absolutely. And another thing we fail to forget, let's give Concierge, how you say his name?
Conceição.
Sal, let's give him credit because he had the opportunity to not take this fight and he could have still got his purse and he could have fought for one of them belts against a lesser opponent. He said, "Nah, forget that. I want to show I am that guy. I'm a former gold medalist. This is silver medalist, even though we know how it went. But I can't get on Shakur that much. I understand in boxing if it happens, right? And he didn't come out making no excuses about it, and that's what I respect the most. There've been other fighters who I have got on because they made excuses after excuses and got mad at the fans for giving them rightful criticism. Shakur Stevenson heard all the criticism. He could have came out and attacked it full force, but he said, "I understand how everybody feel." That sat in with me, and like I said, if this guy was like a repeat offender, then that's when we have a problem. But in life, we all make mistakes.
Sure.
He he righted his wrong. He handled it the professional way because, as everybody knows, Shakur Stevenson is a firecracker, right? And we could see with the people he got around him now, you could tell his team is hella good because they kept him focused. They made him understood the right things to say. Don't come out going at the media, say you messed up. He did that. Just don't do it again.
Spot on, bro. Spot on. I think it's important that we check him, especially if I'm praising him every time he does something right, then I'm going to check him when he does something wrong. And this deserves a checking because, again, this was a championship fight. This wasn't an undercard fight. This was a championship fight, belt on the line. I would say this is his first time fighting since he's been dominantly put on pound for pound list. After his win against Valdez, you saw him jump that top 10, and he was on the pound for pound list for a lot of outlets, including ours. So
Ours
like what you said.
Ours matter the most.
What's that?
The spit bucket pound for pound.
Oh yeah, that's the only one that is fact based. That's why. Yeah. The rest is just opinion. Yeah. But what I'm gonna say about him? The belts. I don't like though that he. Again, I already said it. I don't like he did it, but he handled it like a champ. He handled it as professionally as he possibly could. And then, don't forget, he put on a class performance. Oh, man, my battery running low over here. Baby, can you bring my charger?
He put on a class performance.
Yeah, he did what he was supposed to do, man. It was a unanimous decision. Like you said, big shout out to Conceição for moving forward with the fight. I think he got paid $150,000 to do it, extra outside of his purse. And listen, we saw very recently a local boxer come in overweight. Usually that you would think that gives you the advantage, right? Thanks, I got it. And we saw that, and that thanks, man. That felt miserably on him. And I'm speaking.
Yeah, and we talking about Maurice Hooker.
Yeah, Mo Hooker against
Blair the Fleur. Maurice Hooker came in overweight. He weighed in at 150 pounds, which is unprofessional. He know that, he he deserved criticism. People should understand that comes with the sport. If criticism is too much for folks out here, this ain't the profession that you need to do.
Facts, bro.
I think Shakur Stevenson understand that, but like you said, other than that, he went out there and put on a performance of a lifetime. I
agree, man. When you look at just going back to Mo Hooker, though, I just want to be sure we address this. He was very close with Stacy Snyder the late great Stacy Snyder, and she had literally. I mean, I'm pretty sure that was within the week of his fight. So he was very, very close to Miss Snyder. So, there was things going on outside the ring, a lot of his on beyond outside of his control. And of course, we're human beings. We're human beings first. So no doubt, like you said, dog, it happens. It happens. But the important thing is that Shakur went in there, handled business, and now the boxing world is on fire because what we've been waiting for a long, long time, Shakur Stevenson is here. And when I say here, I mean probably the most loaded division in boxing at 135. Are you excited? Are you excited at the potential of what's to come at the lightweight and then even maybe a 140 division?
I am, because when you speak of Shakur Stevenson moving up to already a highlighted division, bro, it's with Devin Haney leading the way, fam. That's just more superstardom coming to a division. And when you talk about Shakur Stevenson, who was on a national level, won a silver medalist, there's a lot of people who thought he should have won that fight and been a gold medalist. That's neither here nor there. He was a silver medalist. And like I say, when you get that type of Olympian attention, that clout runs real big, because it's a lot of people who is your average boxing fans who watching that like that, and they see an American or whatever country you from able to succeed. Shakur got that behind him. And I think him coming to this division, it just set it on fire even more than what it already was with Devin Haney taking the reign and defeating George Kambosos.
Agree 100% with you, brother. Hey, I want to let's take a quick break, but when we come back from the break, I want to dive a little bit deeper into Shakur's possibilities at 135 and what you think about each of those fights, if you're good with that. But first, take a look at a message from our friends at KO CBD.
We all have battles. We fight. We train. We work. We persevere. And we celebrate. We are all one.
I can't do anything if I can't walk in my prosthetic. It's a lot of pain that I feel throughout my day. It can be very intense. Now I just put that balm over it and it will heal up much faster and it will let the callus recover. That's amazing. It is a total game changer. I am hooked. I am absolutely, I'm just hooked.
Life is hard. KO makes it better. KOCBD.com.
Check it out, friends, KOCBD.com. If you're hurting, if you're an athlete, if you have a tough job, if you have old injuries from your old glory days in high school, whatever it is, if you got those pains and you need relief and you don't want to be doping yourself up with medicine or you don't want to smell like mint or anything like that, trust me, KO Therapeutics. Go check out KOCBD.com. Use our discount code TSB10. Promise you will not be disappointed. These guys know what they're doing. CBD is the way to go, man. There's a lot of healing factors with that. So thank you guys to KO Therapeutics.
Speaking of KO, you was just at the event with them. Unfortunately, shout out to KO and the whole team for going out there. Speak on that event, JJ.
Yeah, it was a Guns N' Hoses golf tournament out at Walnut Creek Country Club in Mansfield, Texas. KO Therapeutics had a booth up there. They were spreading the word, giving samples, and just letting folks know that they're here, man. You see the word KO. I feel like people see CBD now and they check out because it's on every corner and stuff. These guys maximize they maximize the milligrams that you can put into a CBD product. What that means for you, you're gonna see results. Quick results. We've got the roll on, then we've got the balm that lasts longer. It's a lot more effective. That helps with the poofy eyes and stuff like that too, the inflammation. But anyhow, about the event, it was a great event. Good catching up with the team at KO, and I'm just excited. These guys are scratching the surface. It's a matter of time for everybody knows who KO Therapeutics are. We have Roy Jones on the team, Christy Martin on the team, Isaac Cruz on the team. So a bunch of big names and excited.
The
to see
Spit Bucket Podcast
Spit Bucket
on the team.
Coach
You
Michael
understand
Montoya.
that the most important of them all, we are.
I'm not gonna tell Roy Jones that.
Tell Roy Jones I said that.
He gonna say we must have forgot.
Tell Roy Jones he must have forgot. Now, shout out to Roy Jones Jr., one of the best ever.
For sure, man. But yeah, so since the division is so loaded, I say
Shout
we
out
do
to my boy General Big Fish. He in the building. Shout out to the General. Big dog salute.
What's up, Big Fish? Spit Bucket, what's good? Yeah, appreciate you tuning in, brother. We're about to dive into this loaded lightweight division and kind of give our thoughts on individual matches. But it's since we opened up talking about Shakur, we're gonna match Shakur up against all the big names and how we think that might look. Again, these are opinions. Please don't report us to Facebook for disagreeing with you. First up, bro. Let's start. Yeah, it's another story, another day. Devin Haney's undisputed. Let's save him for last. Who do you think we should throw out first? Rolly? Let's not think about promotions or networks or nothing like that. Just match them up, name versus name. Shakur versus Rolly.
Shakur versus Rolly.
What was that?
So I studied. Like, Rolly proved he on this level, right? He got to fight with Javante. He looked it good in 6 rounds against Javante. Javante got the win, but, like, if you ain't on this level, you ain't going to be able to be in the ring with a guy who pitching damn near excellence with the wins and the knockout ratio that Javante Tank Davis has on his resume. So I think Rolly Romero versus Shakur Stevenson is a hell of a matchup. But the only thing is Floyd Mayweather, Leonard Ellerby, Floyd said it himself, well, I got to go fight with other people. You know, I mean, I know you don't want to talk about it, but we got to let the truth come to the power come to the truth. It plays its part. I would love to see Shakur versus Rolly because it's a lot behind that. And you're talking about 2 people that could tangle with each other and make a big fight. Absolutely. Shakur Stevenson versus Isid Cruz. That's a great testimony.
That was my next question right there.
We seen how Isid Cruz held himself up against Javante Davis. Let's see how you will look against a Shakur Stevenson stepping in, because Shakur is, like you say, special. You don't bring special guys up to give them an easy pass. You feel me? You don't bring special guys up to give them an easy pass. You bring guys like Shakur Stevenson, who we look at as special, and you put him out there with the Wolves because he absolutely 100% ready for any fighter in that division. So Isid Cruz is a hell of a matchup. It's a bunch of them out there though, but yeah.
I think he definitely can make a name. Shakur Stevenson, and I do want to talk on this one real quick, and then we'll jump to real quick thoughts on Haney. But Shakur and Tank, how would that look in your eyes, bro?
I don't know yet. I mean, I know it'll be a hell of a fight, but I don't know how I could pick a winner at that fight yet. The thing is Shakur special, absolutely, but Javante Davis just as special. Whether we like him or we don't like him, he's special. That guy, what, like 27 wins, 25 knockouts, or what, 28 wins, something like that. He's special. And when he touch you, you know, it's for real. It's ferociously for real power, right? And even though Shakur Stevenson put on a flawless performance, this is boxing, you're going to get hit. But if he take them type of punches from a Javante Davis, that is yet to be determined to see how he going to be able to stand up to that type of punching power, and also a guy who's just as skillful and as athletic as he is in that square circle. So, yeah, I don't know who will win that fight. I mean,
bro, there's no wrong. It's crazy because, you know, I've been talking big noise about Shakur for a minute now, and I kept saying when he gets to 135, he's going to wipe them all out. But now that we're here, now that he's at 135, I've been thinking about that question I was going to ask you, matching them up individually. And damn, bro, like, I still think Shakur's going to rise to the top when it's all said and done. If I had to pick a secondary one, I'm torn between him and Devin Haney. And I told you that this week. I was all Shakur, and then just kind of seeing their work ethic and seeing Man, I don't know. It's a toss-up, but I still ride with Shakur, but it's not as easy for me in my head no more. I think about Tank Davis. Hell, I think about him with Isak Cruz. Now the Rolly thing, like who was it? General Big Fish said, Skip Rolly. I don't know how that would look. Rolly's been knocked out, and it's hard to recover from something like that, from a real devastating knockout. But the Isak Cruzes, the Tank Davis, and then Devin Haney, oh man. Hell, you can throw. Obviously, we're jumping Lomachenko.
Oh yeah, I was gonna speak on Lomachenko.
Yeah.
That's another good matchup for Shakur. But we can't talk about Shakur and Javante and Rolly and all them other ones without talking about the creme de la creme of the division in Devin the Dream Haney. You know, like my dog General Big Fish say, we got the right to change our mind. My dog,
no doubt.
That's real thing. When situations occur, you got the right to change your mind. And I think a lot of people be reaching. People just want you to stand on something forever. Like with time doesn't come change, right? And you remember how very critical I was of Javante versus George Kambosos. Not critical of the matchup, just critical, but like, I know Javante ain't. I mean, Devin Haney. He on this level yet. He ain't showed me that. But guess what? When reality came, in reality, he showed everybody from the 2-1 photo across the pond, he a motherfucker, right? And he proved, no doubt, that he was the best 135-pounder in the world, bro. And I think everything go through him. Now, listen, Jay, I gave Shakur his roses. I say, yeah, it happens. But who more disciplined and determined than Devin Haney? We know he got the skill set, and you got to understand, Devin Haney is a guy who had to get it the harder way, right? Real talk. Let's be honest. He had to get it the harder way. He didn't come out getting gifted and had the name already and come from the Olympics and go to Top Rank and get it this way, get this fight that way, get featured this way. He was really the dog of the division who had to really get it the harder way, bro. And like I say, when you become champion, you become a different animal. And Devin Haney has always stayed the same, right? And now since he's champion now, he's a different animal. That's going to be a hard man to beat. Devin Haney is my best 135-pound fighter in the world, and I pick him against everybody.
I love it, bro. And I'm gonna go back to what you said right now about changing your mind. People will confuse that for flip-flopping or something, as if we're making a lifetime commitment to a gang or something, which I don't understand that. It's our job to use our eyeballs, watch these fights, watch these fighters progress in life, progress in their careers, and then we make assessments. We have to be adjusting to what they're showing us. You can't just pick one and stick with them forever. So just like what you said about you being extra critical about Haney, hell, just a week ago, I was saying Shakur is the next best thing since sliced bread, for real. I mean, I was saying it, but along the week, I don't know whether it was the missed weight. I don't know if it's just me seeing footage of Haney, but somewhere along the week, something started clicking in my head. Maybe it was IOTBA texting me about Devin. I don't know what it was. Something started clicking in my head where, hey, this kid still has work to do. Haney's already proven himself. And Haney, just something about him, Craig. You're like you said, he's elevating himself. And I don't even know how to explain what it is I see about him. His confidence, I can't wait to see Devin Haney's career play out, man. And
you know what it is, AJ?
What is that?
He did it his way. And he did it the harder way, and he did it his way. So, like, when you got to understand, it's just like the position that Terrence Crawford in right now. And a lot of fans so butthurt about his position he in, right? Just say if that Errol Spence versus Crawford fight happened and Terrence Crawford actually beats Errol Spence, then Terrence Crawford going to get all the praise that he always wanted, because people going to look at him and be like, man, we got to salute you on that.
Absolutely.
Terrence Crawford, because you did it the harder way, right? So with Devin Haney actually doing that, because Devin Haney, it took Terrence Crawford a long time to make his name where people start seeing him on on a national light. Like we seeing him, you know, now, if we're going to be honest and unbiased, he wasn't never a big star. And that's just something that fans be so sour about.
Yeah.
You see the facts.
Yeah.
About the situation. It ain't about downgrading him as a fighter, because guess what? We say he is great as a fighter. We had Terrence Crawford #1 on our pound for pound list, right? But just to start him around it, he didn't have that. Devin Haney didn't have that. But guess what? Devin Haney kept working. He got that.
Yeah.
And now sky's the limit for Devin Haney. It's hard for him. I can't pick nobody to beat Devin Haney at 135. I'm sorry.
Yeah, man. All I know is that boxing fans are in for a treat. And man, I just can't wait. I hope boxing politics doesn't ruin this, because these kids are doing the right thing by taking the right fights. But I hope boxing politics doesn't ruin it. You got anything else you want to touch on in the 135 division? You want to talk about Haney and Kambosos coming up in 2 weeks, or we saving that for next week? We have lost.
Oh, absolutely. I'm definitely ready for that Haney versus Kambosos, man. Because absolutely, I got Devin Haney winning this fight 100%. But the one thing I love about boxing is when a champion lose, right? You dream and you make it, JJ. And look, hold up. Let me put the camera on me for this. Hold up.
We'll do it this way.
Hold up. You dream as a fighter, right, to become champion. You work your ass off, right, to finally put yourself in that position, right, and you get there, you win, you on top, you have your moment. Then as a champion, you lose. This was what I love about the sport of boxing. That's why it is so pure, and that's why boxing been around for a long, long time, because you want to see that heart of a champion. You want to see the type of adjustments that champion gonna make coming back into this fight. You want to see if that champion ain't got comfortable off of all that money he done made, and you want to see if he could come back and dethrone the guy who dethroned him and get that back. That's what's beautiful about the sport of boxing. That's what I love. Even though I favor Devin Haney heavily, I even think Devin Haney, if he put his foot on the gas, he could really stop this guy, because I think Devin Haney, like you say, his confidence is on another level right now. But I want to see the type of adjustments Joyce Kambosos, the former champion, who just like Devin Haney, had to get it the harder way. I want to see if he going to come in here and make adjustments and not just lay down and get this check because Devin Haney beat him so decisively. I want to see his work ethic and see if he's going to be able to come back and be able to have some wrinkles that make this fight intriguing, or him even possibly winning this fight. That's the beauty of the sport.
Just as you're talking to this, I'm sitting here thinking, what if nobody's saying what if Kambosos wins? Like, everybody just automatically matching up Devin Haney with Shakur and whoever is next. What if George Kambosos wins this fight? Was that?
Put the camera on you.
Oh, my bad. I thought you were saying I did something wrong. Like this. Yeah. I don't think there's a chance in all of boxing universe that happens. But you're right. That's why we watch the fights. You know, Kambosos is still in his prime. He could still, we've seen him fight. You know, Devin pretty much had an answer for anything he had that night, which wasn't much. But let's see Kambosos get back to the drawing board, and dude, if he could shock the world again, that could be huge. I just don't think anybody's giving him much of a shot at that.
Definitely not me.
Yeah. You want to see it? Would you be shocked?
Of course, I want to see it. Kambosos earned this rematch. As a champion, you earn that rematch, right? Especially when you had most of the belts, right? That's why I speak on Crawford and Earl Spence situation. Why do Crawford deserve a rematch? He got one belt. If Earl Spence loses the fight, he deserves a rematch. If Crawford loses the fight, he don't deserve a rematch, bro. And then I can understand if it's close.
Yeah, I'm going to say if it's close.
And if it's a bad decision. But even if it's close, JJ, like, if Earl Spence wins as a champion, do what he's supposed to do and get the the belts, who everybody say he been sucking himself down for a long time at 147, why not move on and go to 154?
Legacy. I mean, we all want to talk about legacy all the damn time. I don't think that anything in Errol wants to move on if there's still a question about it. Half the boxing population will have something to say forever. And again, what I always tell you about leaving that doubt in the public's eye, a lot of fighters didn't leave that doubt. And I don't think Errol wants to either. So that would be the reason, and probably a bigger paycheck. If it was a close, great fight against Bud the first time around and numbers did great, then they're only going to be better the second time around.
Yeah, but if Earl win, and we know he win, like, there's no reason for me.
I'll sign a 3-fight deal as a fan right now.
If Crawford want to come up to 154 and test the waters up there, but in my opinion, if Earl Spence win this fight, it's time for him to stop sucking himself down at 147 and move to 154.
And continue to cement his legacy, because he can do it at 154 too. I expected you to say that. I thought you were going to tell me like he can't get a legacy at 154.
Yeah, his legacy at 154. Terrence Crawford doing it. Everybody always talking about Terrence Crawford, the Hall of Fame already. Well, okay, Earl Spence get the other belt in this division, and if he really win this fight, where it's no doubt that people could say, yeah, Earl won it. It was close, but Earl won that fight. Why not go to another division and try to do even more? Ain't that what you're doing in the sport of boxing?
That's what you do. You're right.
They got multiple divisions for, right?
Yeah.
Like if Crawford don't want that to happen, Crawford need to come in here and win this fight. As simple as that.
You think Crawford move straight on up? Oh no, well, never mind. Rematch clause.
He definitely got to concede to a rematch.
Bro, why isn't that signed yet, dude? I know we talked about it last Thursday, but they said it was gonna happen again in a couple of days, and
I mean, everybody know why they signed.
We talked about why it's lasted so long.
No, but it's not a big secret why it's not signed, JJ. Like, like when you ain't in cruise control, and when you in cruise control compared to the guy who controlling the ship, that's the difference.
But they've already agreed to it. Why is it not signed? You think it's still the Kinahan, the Irish mob, the Irish cartel stuff still slowing it down?
Yeah, it could play its part, but
I mean, they've already agreed. I mean, we can stop playing A-side, B-side, all that.
Like, Terrence Crawford would have signed the contract, because this is the thing right here. People sit up here and tell me the A-side sent out the contract. Well, if the A-side sent out the contract, we know who the A-side with. That's what Al Heyman. So if the A-side sent out the contract, it's guaranteed the A-side already agreed and signed to the contract. Now it's up to the B-side. Like, you ain't going to send the contract out if you A-side, if you running the promotions, right? So this is just logical. It's like, I don't see how people just don't see who ain't signed the contract, because when you the A-side and your promotional team in control, of course, if they sending the contract out, they got it in their guy's head. Their guy done already agreed to everything and signed the contract, and that's up to the other guy.
But you just said they're in control of everything. We don't know that Errol's fully put a stamp on it, because like we just heard last week, they were the ones that were dotting the I's and crossing the T's and doing their due diligence on Dan Kinahan overseas in Ireland. So you could say now they have every right to, but you can say they're the ones dragging their feet. And what if they're still investigating it? What if Bud's like, do whatever you got to do, keep investigating? Like, because that's what he said. At least the homeboy from who was Lance Pugmire. That's what he said last week, that it was the mob affiliation. So you can easily put that on Spence's people, which they have every right to. Again, you don't want to be doing business with the cartel.
So you said you could put it on them. So how can you put it on them if they have every right to?
No, you can say they're the reason the fight
now,
got signed.
If you got one guy who affiliated with the mob and they're doing their due diligence, I'm just saying, if that's the case, How can you put it on them if they're doing their due diligence with a guy, a professional fighter who has ties to a guy who's in the mafia?
Yeah, I don't think when I said I didn't say I put it on him. I meant like they're the ones that are holding it up. And that
No,
was the
that's
question.
that's the same thing. Putting it on them.
And we don't know. We don't know.
No, but I'm saying, but how can we say they're holding it up if they're doing their due diligence with a professional fighter who has ties with a guy with the cartel?
I agree they should. They should. But I'm talking to folks who like you're saying, it's all Bud's fault it's not signed, or Bud's people haven't signed it. And the people who blaming Spence, we don't know. Like, we're just wasting our breath. You know, I mean,
JJ?
we're just guessing. What we know
is it because you say is it because Bud with the other, what's that guy name?
Daniel Kinahan.
Daniel Kinahan. You said is it because of that? So who is tied with Daniel Kinahan?
Yeah, for sure. But then you stop telling the fans and tied.
No, I'm asking you a question. Who is tied with him?
For sure, Bud is.
So,
but then stop dragging our feet. We'll move on to another fight. November 19th is less than 2 months away.
Okay, but let's welcome Keith Thurman. I welcome that.
That's what I'm saying. If my problem right now is, again, it's an ever changing, it's evolving. We can place the blame on Bud, place the blame on Heyman or Spence.
Spence ain't tied with no guy from the cartel.
No, but what I'm saying is his management. If you still feel the need to investigate, move on to the next fight already. Like,
yeah, but so
stop dragging their feet. And again, I'm not talking any.
They ain't holding no gun to Terrence Crawford head. He can move on too.
Yeah, you're right. But they should say, okay, the contract's not the
Terrence
contract.
Crawford, the one ain't fought in a year, JJ. Earl just fought in April, bro.
Hey, I'm just pointing out both sides, Corey. Both sides. That's it. Both sides got arguments.
JJ, no, it ain't. I don't see no argument on the other side. Now, I am for right is right and wrong is wrong. I'm with that 100%. But how can you blame placement on Spence's side when all this other stuff we know and going on with Crawford's side?
If Bud is still tied with those guys, and it's not clear that he's not, then the fight shouldn't happen. It's that simple. Like, we're 7 weeks away now. That, again, there's a lot of.
Happen November 19th.
Do I believe it's gonna happen November 19th? Are you asking me? Everybody I says that says I need to believe, but I'm starting to lose faith. I don't think so. I don't know, man. It's 7 weeks. We have a giant fight.
For a fight like this, you need at least 12 weeks, 12 to 16 weeks for promotion, bro.
Oh, so you're saying it's not gonna happen?
I don't think it's gonna happen on November 9th. I don't think it is. Like, this fight would have been announced like in the middle of September, like on the 19th, when it's 2 months away, when it started getting past less than 2 months for the fight. How can you promote this like that?
I agree, dog. I don't understand.
Floyd Mayweather Pacquiao now. They are not them.
No, not even close, bro. Like, if they're going to mess around and do it on November 19th, and them pay-per-view numbers are going to flop because they need to make this fight a household event.
But I'm asking, how can they do that right now when it's less than?
Yeah, it's going to flop, bro.
Somebody said that, they might, since Gervonta Davis going through his legal problems, that clears up a date in December. Yeah, it do, but like, why would anybody want to be training during Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
Or Christmas coming up. Why would they want to do that?
Dog. Yeah, you don't want to.
Especially when it's you as accomplished as both the guys are, especially Earl Spence leading the way.
Our money says I do not believe it's going to happen this year. People losing hope again. They did it to us again. They get our hopes up in the sky. And that's what I said a few weeks ago, and I took a lot of shit for this on YouTube. I was like, we don't care anymore. Boxing doesn't need the sport of boxing. And hear me out when I say this. Boxing does not need Spence Crawford. We don't need him. And what I mean by that is, yes, do we really want that fight? Do we really want that fight? Sure. Hell yeah. It's the biggest fight of the year, probably the biggest fight in the last 2 decades. But when I say boxing doesn't need it, man, guys, we've all been blessed with the kings of the 80s, the four kings, the whole 90s from top to bottom. Mike Tyson, Holyfield, Chavez, De La Hoya, Whitaker, Michael Kerbal. I mean, just go up and down the list. Just legends, legendary fights that will go down in history. And then we have a whole batch of future that are going to continue to make history. We see fighters like Devin Haney stepping up to the plate and making these fights happen without all this silly nonsense. So when I say boxing doesn't need it, big picture, one day when we're all old and stuff, yeah, boxing, we're not going to miss that fight. But damn, do we want it? Yeah. Am I tired of talking about it? Yes. Am I tired of seeing daily not conversations, just full out, just shenanigans on social media between the two sides?
I disagree 100%. We do need that fight. Boxing will miss that fight if that fight don't happen. Yeah, it sounds good. We don't need that fight. We got all this young talent coming up. But when they going to fight each other? You think they finna have – you think Devin Haney and Shakur finna fight right now?
No, they're not going to fight right now. Bill made that abundantly clear today.
They ain't nowhere close to fighting. You think, like, yeah, we're going to miss this fight. But the thing about it is, I feel like Errol Spence shouldn't have to wait on Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford ain't even signed to a promoter. That's my point. I think Errol Spence should move on. Like, he should move on. And if Terrence Crawford, after this next fight, Earl have, that should sink in Terrence Crawford's head, or he should try to get him another fight with somebody so he could be inactive. This is a guy who fight once a year. He a month and a half away. I mean, he a month away from being inactive for a whole year, JJ.
Yeah, he's a month away. But then, you know, if we don't get the November fight with EJ, you think he's going to fight? Well, he's going to probably fight around April. So that'll put him at a whole year without a fight. You know, it's just
fight April.
Huh? Well, if he don't fight Bud right now, you think he's just going to call somebody? I mean,
why he can't fight in January or February?
Because
what?
Too good to be true. They just don't do it, dog. Like something always comes up with these guys. I'm learning.
Make Spence versus Thurman, and that's gonna sell, JJ. And it's gonna sell down here in Texas. You're gonna have about 50,000, close to 50,000 people in that arena in a build up to that fight with Thurman and Spence, because that's the real grudge.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I understand that Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence is the fight, but you're talking about going back in history and replaying all them clips with Thurman and Spence, and how how Spence say he'll never fight Errol Spence, how Keith Thurman used to say he not ready, I got other things to do. Like, I want to see that fight.
Yeah, since I've seen Keith yapping again, I've come around to that fight being okay as a backup. Obviously, it's not Spence versus Crawford. Thurman still got some skills, man. He still got some skills, so it could be a great fight. Easy to make, obviously. But hear what you were saying earlier about wanting EJ to just move on, bro. He knows that he'll lose half his fan base if he says, I've decided to move on. Because they've invested so much into these silly-ass little arguments about whose fault is it and who's ducking who. Spence knows he's going to let his fans down if he says, I'm moving on. So he feels obligated, I bet. He has to do this. He told us all he's going to fight Terrence Crawford this year. He said it over and over. So if it's his decision to move on, it's going to be a bad look. I see what you're saying about he should move on, but it's a bad look, bro.
No, of course he wants this fight. He let us know he wants this fight. He put the pitch out. Of course he wants this fight. Why would he try to get 3 belts and not want 4? But he ain't supposed to concede to nothing. A guy who barely does anything numbers-wise, because like you said, it's about facts, right, JJ?
Si, senor.
If you put Terrence Crawford numbers up against Errol Spence, it just blows him out the water. It's not even close. So you're talking about Spence losing half his fan base. How?
What I just said. It's going to
No,
be a bad look.
no, I'm not through. I'm saying how. How he gonna lose half of his fan base? They gonna still be right there. Because it's the thing right here. His fan base, real people know, especially if you're in business. And you got leverage. You use your leverage. That's the American way. Thank God bless America.
Yeah, but you're still an entertainer, and you still have, you don't want to. You go to a concert, you expect to hear certain songs. They're great songs. If you just hear nothing but their new shit or whatever, it's not gonna be the same. So, yeah, they're athletes. Yeah, that's their job. But a big part of what they do is entertain as well, man. And that comes with, listening to what your fan base wants. And all this, like what you're saying about the numbers, that's already been agreed to. The 65-35. So what the hell are we doing now?
Well, Crawford ain't signed yet. He told Blue Blood Sports TV the other day that he agreed to everything. But then he also said in the same sense, I ain't signed nothing yet. Well, to make that make sense in my Thriller, the Black Picasso voice. How the hell can you agree to everything but ain't signed nothing yet? That's befuddling to me, Jose Jr.
Because there's not a contract in his face yet. And the contract not in his face yet because of the issues with the mob.
Oh,
that's what we know, huh?
Is that what we're saying the issue is?
Well, that's what the issue was widely reported Thursday.
Why Terrence Crawford? Like, I want to ask you this. Like, why would he be tied to a guy like that? I'm asking a real question.
Bro, I don't know, dog. I got thug ass friends. Like, I got some gangster ass friends. Why
would a professional fighter who making millions of dollars know the history? Because you got to understand, when you're going to do your research, unless they really got the brain size of a mustard seed up there in the 402, on the people you deal with. And you're going to do your research on anybody you deal with.
Yeah.
And you're going to make sure, if you're going to do some business with somebody, you're going to do your due diligence to see who this person is. And you're going to do that, Jay?
Yeah, correct. We could do this all day, though, about the people.
I'm asking you, are you going to do that?
Yeah, of course.
So my thing is, why would he tie himself to somebody like that?
Has Errol Spence ever been affiliated with somebody who's been tied to a murder?
See, here we go.
I mean, you can't do that.
Who? Like, hold up. Tied to a murder?
No, not.
Hold on. You said, have he ever been affiliated?
Bro, of course, one is bigger than the other.
See, people like to deflect like that. And that
one's bigger than the other. Of course.
You deflect them because that's what they do when you're trying to make an argument for Terrence Crawford. Not just you, but a lot of other people. You say the actual facts on Terrence Crawford. And then they try to deflect that with something about Errol Spence. We're not talking about Errol Spence. I was saying, why would Terrence Crawford, you said this yourself, because it's with the Kenyan dude. Could that be the holdup? So why would Terrence Crawford tie himself with somebody like him?
That's a conversation that I don't fucking know. Why would I defend anybody? Why would I defend Crawford for that? But at the same time, I don't look into anybody's friends list. Like I don't, like I said, I've never judged EJ for anybody he kicks it with, or Rolly or Tank or any of these fools. AB, you think all the people he kept around were just peachy? No. So I can't answer your question about why would Terrence Crawford do that. I don't know. I got some friends. My parents asked me, why would I be their friend? Huh?
You can't answer that question. It ain't about you don't know why he would do that. That's an easy question to answer. It's irresponsible of him to put himself in a position with somebody like that. We could even talk about Brett Favre and the scam that scum did in Mississippi, getting the loans about the water. Why should that scumbag, why would he put himself in that position? And then with the text messages and say that was idiotic for Brett Favre to do, just like it's idiotic for Terrence Crawford to tie himself with somebody like Keeneland. That's just what it is. It ain't about looking at his friends list. It's about knowing the facts. And like
So you
you
mean
say,
to tell me that
reported.
what are you saying? Are you saying that every other fighter has a squeaky clean list around them?
Here we go talking about every other fighter.
No, you're making it sound like every fighter should do that.
I ain't talking about, we talking about the fight. And
Okay,
the fight
so
between Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford, like you said, it could be because of that Keenan. I'm
Kinahan
asking,
dude, yeah.
So let me say this. Isn't it irresponsible for Terrence Crawford to put himself in that position with a guy like that?
100%.
That's what I'm saying. So people talking about what's the holdup. Who is the holdup?
But you're missing the part. Who's holding it up? Who's saying we don't want to do business with that? I agree why they're doing it. So now they should rip the contract up and rip up all the rumors. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying PBC or Al Heyman shouldn't be doing their due diligence. I'm saying if that's that big of a concern and we're 7 weeks away from the fight and you guys still don't have the team to figure out if he's still affiliated with him or not, then rip up the contract and stop having the entire boxing community hold their breath. That's all I'm saying. I agree with what you're saying about Bud being associated with that dude. That's no bueno. But we're here, and now what do we do now? Keep saying we're still
That's the holdup.
He can't unaffiliate himself in the whole past.
Well, of course he can't. Because
now we move forward and let the fight go.
How can we move forward, JJ?
No, let the fight, like, forget about the fight.
Well, okay, so whose fault is it, JJ?
Terrence Crawford. At that point, I'm talking about right now. But if the fight doesn't happen because of Kinahan, obviously it's Terrence Crawford's fault.
But you just told me it's because Kinahan, what old boy reported, is the reason why the fight is the holdup.
Yeah.
I've seen that too. So whose fault is it? The reason why the fight has been held up. Once again, JJ, people say we don't know who other people tied to. If somebody was tied to somebody and you're a public figure, it's going to come out. Just like it came out with Terrence Crawford being a public figure, he's tied to this guy. So who is the holdup?
I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm saying move on from the damn fight now.
But why Earl? You talking about Earl gonna lose his fans? Earl trying to.
No. You said earlier.
You said if Earl Spence move on, but Earl and them ain't moving on yet. This is just speculation because they probably trying to do everything they can to make this fight happen. Why can't we say that?
Because we don't know, Craig. You painted one perfect picture and one terrible picture. So why can't we meet in the middle a little bit more?
Picture in my what should I paint terrible of Earl Spence? Tell me.
No, I'm saying you're saying he's doing everything possible when A, we don't know that, and B, you're saying you're putting all of the blame. Like, what do you mean? We know that in the past 5 years, both of these guys have been to blame at some point or another. I don't understand why it's factually just one side. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. They've been back and forth. There's been fingers to be pointed. Right now, the issue is that mobster. The mobster
holding up the fight, JJ.
That's holding up the fight. Spence's
management is with the mobster, JJ.
Yeah, Spence's management is holding up the fight because of Bud's involvement. So
how are they holding up the fight by doing their due diligence? That's what I'm trying to get clear. Don't say they holding up the fight.
Does it take time to take time to do that?
No, JJ, you can't say that. You can't say Spence. No, you cannot. You can't say Spence and them is holding up the fight, doing their due diligence about a very bad guy who deals with the cartel, who's affiliated with the glamorous pound-for-pound fighter of the world.
I'm saying if they haven't sent the contract, why are we wasting our breath saying Terrence Crawford hasn't signed the contract? That's all I'm saying.
He agreed to everything.
He agreed to the terms.
Okay, but then news came out that Terrence Crawford is affiliated with that guy. So
news has been out. I mean, correct. It's because of Terrence Crawford.
So that's what I'm saying.
What does it fucking matter? Like,
no, it do matter because the narrative is getting painted that it's Earl Spence's fault. And it's not
right
Earl
down the middle.
Fault.
Right down the middle. I'm talking about the narrative.
No, Earl ain't affiliated with a guy who's a freaking cartel. He's not. Don't
I
put
didn't
that
say
jacket
that.
on your back, JJ.
I said right down the middle about where they're placing the blame. The
No,
fan
you
base
can't
is because you said it's a narrative being painted.
put it 50-50 when we just found who did you know before the news came out that
Yeah, I
Terrence
told you
Crawford,
about 3 weeks ago.
I'm talking about, but did you know before it came out that Terrence Crawford was affiliated
Yeah,
with this cartel?
he
Did you
was
know
on the
that?
list. Yeah, I knew it before last Thursday. I promise. And I was
I'm talking
talking
about,
with
but how long did you know it?
a couple weeks.
So nobody knew it though, JJ. With time comes change, right?
Yeah,
Nothing stays the same. Ain't that what we started out talking about?
all the time it changes.
So with time comes change, now we all find out that Terrence Crawford is affiliated with this cartel guy, and people trying to tell me to put fault on Earl Spence. People act like, see, you know the thing that kills me? People act like me and Earl Spence still talk. Do I talk to Earl Spence?
Not whatsoever.
People act like me and Earl Spence, we had our fallout, but yeah, that's over with, right? Right? When time comes,
100%.
you know, shit happen. You don't harp on nothing forever. But one thing me and you got together when we said we was gonna do this, we was gonna do right is right and wrong is wrong, right? That's why we affiliated as the Spit Bucket Podcast, right?
100%.
Right is right and wrong is wrong. I'm tired of people putting that jacket on Earl back. Now, if Earl was affiliated with somebody like this, then we could be like, boom.
No doubt, Corey. And listen, I'm not saying we should look past Terrence Crawford. The only point I'm making is if it's still this big a deal, we're 7 weeks away from the fight, we should put an end to the rumors and let's pursue Keith Thurman or something else. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, you want Earl Spence. You want Earl Spence to say, I'm not doing this. You want him to come out.
You said that. You said you want him to
No,
move forward.
I'm saying they doing their due diligence. This is the fight they want. You talk about legacy. Then you just scream to me about legacy.
Yeah, you said you want him to move forward.
Did you say this will look bad for Earl Spence's legacy if he don't take this fight? So you ain't giving Earl Spence his credit for doing this due diligence, even though he know this guy's affiliated with this guy to still try to make this fight.
How am I not giving him credit? Spence is still saying he wants.
He should move on.
I'm talking about Spence's management. Not one time in this entire hour or how long we've been on have I blamed Spence. And I'm not blaming their management for doing the right thing. You're missing what I'm saying. I'm blaming his management for keeping everybody's hopes alive. We're 7 weeks out from the fight. That's all I'm saying. They should do the right thing.
So it's on Spence management because Terrence Crawford is affiliated with a cartel guy. Let me get that straight.
Did I say his management is to blame?
JJ, you just said I blame Spence management for not doing this and they need to do this.
No,
JJ,
when I'm comparing Errol and his management, I'm not putting this on Errol at all. You think
no blame on Earl Spence? He gets no blame.
Jeez. All right.
Tell me where you can put some blame on him, JJ.
The fact that we're here 2022, when it should have happened a long time ago. Now you mean to tell me there's no blame at all? I'm being reasonable about recent events, but you want to talk big picture. Now you're saying Spence, you'll get no blame. Now come on now. We're in 2022.
Okay, business-wise, he don't get no damn blame.
For
Terrence
maybe
Crawford,
these past 3 months, you're right.
He was on the other side of the street.
Since when?
Terrence Crawford was on the other side of the street. PBC, business-wise, JJ, if you're gonna do business with some guy who's on the other side of the street, or you're gonna do business on your side of the street first, where you hold everything and you can have one champion. Business.
Okay, I'm not talking. Whose fault is it that fight?
No, I'm asking you, business-wise, was it the right thing to do?
For money, yeah, he's here with the 3 belts. Smart thing, money. But whose fault?
So business-wise,
you just said he has no. You said he has no reason to blame for this fight not happening.
None.
That's false, man. You said before.
The only thing I blame Earl for that I gave him smoke for is he said, "Why would I fight you when I could take the easy route, right?" But
there he has something to blame.
He get the smoke for that, but then when you think about business-wise, how can you knock him?
Hey, I seen you do this and say Errol deserves no blame.
No,
That
he deserves no blame
triggered
right
something
now.
to me.
Right now, he deserves
Okay.
no blame.
Right now, yeah, you're right. But it is 2022.
Right now, since he
Yeah.
became a 3-belt champion, he deserves no blame.
All facts. Say that next time. Not the big picture shit. But
no,
you're right.
He
This
did
last lap around,
right?
huh?
People got the right to criticize him for the way he did it, for him telling Terrence Crawford, why would I do this when I could take the easy route? But I'm asking you, business-wise, did he do the right thing?
Yeah, because look where we're at. He's on the A side. He's got 3 straps now. Of course he did the right thing.
And ain't they going to make more money now, JJ?
Yes, it is.
But I'm just saying, he deserves criticism for how he handled that. I agree with you on that. But as of right now, and I should have rephrased that, since he got the 3 belts, he deserves no criticism. None. Not a titi. Nothing. I'm on the record of saying that, meaning that, and standing on that.
And I'm good with that, bro. I'm good. I'm just not, I agree with you there. Hold on. I want to see something real quick. Shit. Oh, well, anyhow, we'll get to it a little bit. But I want to catch up 913 Boxer. He said, what does the cartel have anything to do with the fight? So if you've been keeping up with the heavyweight division and Tyson Fury and also Josh Taylor down at 140, a couple other names out there have been associated with a dude named Daniel Kinahan, who is the cartel boss, the cartel leader in Ireland. Those guys aren't allowed to travel to the United States right now. Tyson Fury, Josh Taylor, like I said, there's a few of them. Well, Terrence Crawford's name popped up on that list not too long ago. But then just last week, Lance Pugmire reported that the reason the fight has not happened yet is because Al Heyman, PBC, all those guys are doing their due diligence to make sure that Terrence Crawford and Kinahan are not associated whatsoever. They don't want Kinahan earning a penny from this thing. And that was reportedly why it dragged on so long, with Heyman and the team doing their research. But that same Lance dude reported that everything had been okayed and approved of. Let me get Corey back on here. That was as of last Thursday, and he expected an announcement any day. So that's why, I'm just so you know, Corey, I know he stepped away. 913 asked, what does the cartel have to do with the fight? Bud is involved with, right now it has everything to do with the fight. Bud has been, I think Bud might have even signed a fight with them, but he never actually fought a fight for MTK. So yeah, there's some concerns there, obviously. But anyway,
would you do business with a guy who, I'm just asking you personally, if you know this guy's affiliated with him, would you do business with a guy like that?
No, man, I wouldn't do business with a guy like that. It's a silly ass question.
No, ain't no silly question. That's a real question. Because Terrence Crawford actually did business with a guy like this. What's silly about that question when you got the pound for pound #1 fighter in the world doing business with a guy like that? So what's silly about that question, Jose Jr.?
You asked me.
So I asked you, yeah, that's a real question, and that's a question to everybody else too. So why can't I ask you that question?
Would you do business with him?
No, I'm saying, like, we want to take up for Terrence Crawford. We want to make it righteous. Oh, Terrence Crawford, he signed with him, but he never fought for him. Why would he even be doing business with a guy like that?
Correct. I'm not defending either one of these two fellas. I'm not.
I'm about you defending. I'm asking you questions. I'm talking to the audience too. Like, they sit up here and want to give Terrence Crawford a pat on the back and look at him, and Terrence Crawford on the sympathy tour of the year, going everywhere, trying to say this and that, but then news circulate from the 214 to across the pond that he's affiliated with this guy, but they don't want to talk about that.
You know what's up, man, bro? And you know what's crazy is that ESPN hasn't said a word about this. PBC hasn't come out and said a word. The Zone, none of these folks are trying to keep this swept under the rug. I know Bob Arum did a lot of work with him, and they have actual proof. And this goes to the 913 Boxer. There's actual proof that this Kinahan dude was collecting paychecks from, I'm pretty sure, Bob Arum after the Fury fight. He had something to do with that, and that's what they're trying to make sure had nothing to do with this fight. but there was some shady shit going on, and I'm not defending it whatsoever. I just wish we could move on already if that's the reason, you know.
That's the hold up. This the fight we want. And Terrence Crawford be affiliated with this guy once again made another horrible decision. The first horrible decision was re-signing with Top Rank when the guy, the first time re-signing the contract with him, doing an extension when he know he couldn't get him this fight. Now doing this, being a free agent for 11 months, still ain't finding a home. Then we finding out he affiliated with this guy. Man, that is the hold up for this fight. This ain't against his greatness in the ring. He's a great, tremendous fighter. Gonna go down as one of the best ever. We're not talking about that. We talking about I can separate that and say who fault it is. I could never say nothing bad about Terrence Crawford as a fighter. That's when these people who get sometimes in their feelings get it distracted by the conversation. Me telling the truth about this guy being a holdup, especially now being affiliated with this guy, and now and me separating and saying, oh, this guy's a 3-division champ. He done did things in the sport of boxing. I know how to separate the two, but he is definitely the holdup in this fight. Errol Spence definitely deserves no blame, because if you think about it, if you do business with a guy like this, like, who else you done business with?
And clarify that no blame before somebody snippets this and tries to blast some shit. You said no blame since he became since April 16th.
Yeah, since he became the champion, yeah.
And if you just tuning in, Correa was just calling out when he blamed Spence in the past, whatever the hell he said, something about taking the easier route. So don't snippet this and run with it and use it for whatever silly ass narratives y'all are gonna think.
They can't. Who cares?
We can't get too many Facebook reports, bro.
You know how they do, bro. Ooh.
How you looking, dog?
A few more minutes.
Yeah. Let's see. You want to talk about Keyshawn's rant, or you want to talk about Joyce's win?
Let's get into Keyshawn, man.
Yeah, let's talk about Keyshawn. Huh?
You got that clip?
I don't have the clip, but I can generalize. Well, actually, it was a whole lot to generalize. Hold on real quick, man. I'm going to need a charging solution here in a bit. Or matter of fact, no, I'm good. Keyshawn, yeah, he came out and just exploded on I think it was Instagram, and talking shit to Errol Spence, talking shit to Rowley, just everybody, talking shit to father-son duos like Haney and his dad, and he went on a crazy rant. But the big takeaway we got from it was the specific part about Errol Spence. He called him scary, or what was it? What was it, Corey? He said he was scared.
Scary.
Yeah, let's tell you where it started right here.
He called him scary, bro.
So look, Errol Spence tweeted Frank Martin. Frank Martin really liked that. For those of you guys who don't know, Errol Spence is promoting up and coming prospect 135 Frank Martin. Well, Keyshawn responded with Terrence Crawford really liked that. But then today, after all the beef and all the stuff went viral, and I think even Correa even made a post about it on his channel. Errol said, "I don't hate. He is what you thought I'd say something different." Or he said, "You thought I'd say something different. Keep working. You're not on our radar yet." And then Keyshawn finalized it all with, "I gotta respect that, champ." After he was talking some mean shit, calling him scary and all that good stuff. Oh yeah, this was huh?
That bothered me right there.
This is the kicker right here, right? You see the screen?
That's what bothered me right there, fam. Like, You know what's crazy? Because Keyshawn Davis left the people who helped him get to where he at to go to Bomac, right?
Yeah.
So it makes me think Keyshawn Davis was down there trying out for Derrick James and them camp, and they was like, they gave him he didn't like the way they rubbed him the wrong way, because he was just down there with him, all smiles and giggles. He was in the gym with him. He see how anybody who been in the gym with Errol Spence know he ain't scared of nothing. JJ, I done seen Errol Spence spar hundreds of rounds. I done seen him spar against champions, light heavyweights, cruiserweights, some heavyweights. I ain't never seen Earl Spence lose a motherfucking round, bro. And if Keyshawn Davis think he's scary, like little fighters like him, they fight welterweights and super middleweights to get ready. Come over here and spar with Earl Spence to help you get ready for a fight. Let's see how you be feeling going into that fight. Keyshawn Davis called him scary just because we know you were Bomax. How you think Terrence Crawford gonna win? But to say he's scary, bro, that was first ridiculous. He looked pathetic. He looked like one of them little wiener dogs on there, talking about oh, he's scary. He didn't like that. Nigga, Earl Spence got 3 bells. Nigga done went through everybody. You don't think he like that?
Yeah, bro. And just I think he learned a real lesson this week, bro. Look, he said Terrence Crawford. That's pretty bold, right? That's pretty bold tweet right there to tweet to a guy he just tweeted this out in February. Different sides of the street, but real recognized real. And we're not even a year past, and he's talking big, big stuff. But then, like I said, he immediately said, I got to respect that, champ. So, and then, like, if you look at his Twitter today, he was doing a lot of apologizing. Some people were saying you're being too disrespectful, you're cussing too much. So what it looked like happened with Lil Keyshawn, who, by the way, I think the world of. He's only 6-0. He's up and coming, 5 knockouts. Man, I fell in love with him in the Olympics. So I'm looking forward to his future. But I think he learned a social media lesson today. When you were talking about Bam Rodriguez last week, when you're saying it might be too much too soon, today was the first time anything Keyshawn really went viral. And he just started yapping. Some of it was funny. He called Rolly Mr. Squeak Voice. And he called out Rolly pretty bad. I wouldn't mind seeing that at some point. But, yeah, he learned he needed to take it back a notch because the world is watching now. The world is watching. You can't just talk. And like I said, his whole day was spent apologizing to people, which I don't know if you should be. You would be yourself. But
I respect that, man. You know, especially we know what side he on. And for him to come out and say that, you know, knowing that, you know, like I said, that Olympics, it bring a lot of attention. But I ain't trying to cut that short, man. I got to, you know, we got to call this short tonight. You know, I got a little 3.5-month-old baby, and he ready to go bonanzas.
All right, brother. Well, you have a good night, bro, and we'll link up very, very soon. Take it easy. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Please subscribe. Please share. Please like, and let your folks know. We really appreciate you guys tuning in. Y'all have a good night.
This is JJ Solomon.
This is Ray Bradshaw, Mr. RTBA. Mr. These boys can't touch me on my worst day. This is the Spit Bucket Podcast.